On this savannah, today's killer may fall tomorrow. When nature decides to change the rules. Ultimate weapons like nerve agents or powerful muscles have their limits against the harsh variables of time. What secret allows these small creatures to stand their ground, staring death in the face to turn the tide? The throne is shaking, and this is a chronicle of the greatest overthrows in the wild. Survival in Africa. No predator reigns forever. Africa is a land where life is never given easily. Where sparse trees struggle to survive, and shade is a rare luxury. Rivers constantly change course with the seasons, and waterholes can evaporate faster than even the thirstiest can predict. Every animal here must endure the scorching heat, the burning thirst, and the exhausting journeys, while danger lurks behind every scorched blade of grass. Herbivores are forced to move constantly, pounding their hooves on the cracked earth to find new green shoots to sustain their last breath. Predators hide in the thorny bushes, carefully calculating each stride and breath to avoid wasting any precious energy on their next attack. In this fiery arena, any small mistake or moment of hesitation is enough to cost a prey its life at the claws of its opponent. In the low grass ahead, a first confrontation is silently beginning, shattering the stillness of the early morning. An Egyptian cobra is emerging from its cold shelter, its abdominal muscles contracting, gliding across the scorching ground to track the scent of a small, solitary prey. This neurotoxic killer is approaching its life or death gamble, where all its hunting experience is about to be tested to its absolute limit. The cobra was tracking the scent of a small creature hidden beneath a layer of decaying leaves. In this harsh land, missing a meal sometimes meant days of weakness. Therefore, it moved extremely slowly, its body pressed close to the ground, waiting for the right moment to deliver the killing bite. With neurotoxic venom powerful enough to take down many creatures larger than itself, the snake believed this hunt would end quickly. But the prey it thought was under its control suddenly stopped. From the pile of dry leaves, a mongoose raised its head. Its small eyes locked onto the approaching predator. It didn't panic and flee, but slowly stepped sideways, beginning to move in an arc to observe its opponent. In that moment, the simple hunt had transformed into a confrontation between two beings who understood the danger. Mongoose knew that a split-second delay would mean the bite would be the end of it all. The snake, too, realized its opponent was unlike any mouse or young bird it had ever encountered. Both maintained their distance, constantly adjusting their positions, waiting for the other to make the first mistake. The atmosphere was thick with tension, as each step forward could be the final one. Then, suddenly, the cobra lunged forward with lightning speed, aiming directly at the most vulnerable spot on Mangoose's head. But the small creature twisted its body sideways in an instant, causing the deadly bite to miss completely. Before the snake's head could retract, Mongoose sprang back like a compressed spring. It lunged forward with all the strength it had accumulated during its waiting. Its powerful jaws sank into the snake's nape, simultaneously pinning its opponent to the hard, dry ground. The cobra writhed violently, trying to regain distance and deliver one last counterattack. But its greatest advantage vanished the moment its first attack failed. In a battle of speed, a single misstep can reverse everything. Realizing it no longer held the upper hand, the snake jerked its body to break free from the grip and immediately darted toward the nearest crevice in the rocks. It slipped into the narrow shadows, leaving behind the menacing presence that had once terrified many creatures. The hunter now had only one goal: survival. And Mongoose stood still, watching, as if it were all too familiar with this kind of ending. The greatest weakness of a dangerous creature is encountering an opponent who understands its attack patterns. In nature, knowledge, reflexes, and timely tactics can defeat even the most deadly weapons. But for the cobra, the recent challenge was only the beginning. For deep within the bushes ahead, another nightmare was inadvertently crossing its path. After a dramatic encounter with a professional snake hunter, the cobra did not give up its target. Hunger in the sun-scorched savannah was a ruthless motivator, forcing it to continue moving through the dry bushes in search of weaker prey to fill its empty stomach. However, luck seemed to turn against it once again, when a looming, silent figure suddenly cut across its hunting path. The obstacle was a honey badger, inadvertently crossing the area to continue its solitary foraging journey. It had no intention of seeking a fight, nor did it pay any heed to the presence of the neurotoxic killer with its hood raised in defiance. But in the wild, this distance was an unofficial declaration of war, and the cobra understood that retreating now would mean abandoning the dignity of an uncrowned king. On one side was a killer eager to prove the power of its venom after a previous failure. On the other was the madman of the savannah, who had never known fear before anyone. This clash was no longer about a meal, but about the very survival of the one who refused to yield on the narrow path. The cobra unexpectedly delivered a fatal bite, its fangs sinking into the honey badger's head and injecting a massive amount of neurotoxic venom. The toxin spread rapidly, causing the honey badger's eyes to glaze over, its legs to wobble, and it collapsed on the spot before the cobra's arrogant gaze. The snake coiled around its opponent's corpse. It had won, but this victory was too costly in terms of energy. But the honey badger's heartbeat never stopped. Deep within its bloodstream, special receptors are silently stripping away the venom, forcing the body to revive from the brink of death. After hours lying motionless on the brink of death, the special receptors in the honey badger's blood neutralized the poison, and its eyes suddenly opened wide in rage. It didn't leave, but silently rose, using its incredibly sensitive nose to track the scent of its attacker, ready for a brutal revenge. In the moment the cobra was resting tiredly under the football, the honey badger lunged like a mud whirlwind, pinning its opponent's head to the dry ground. Despite the snake's agonizing struggle, the honey badger used its strong jaws to crush the killer's head, turning the predator into its own bloody meal of insane tenacity. In nature, some creatures win not because they are faster or possess more sophisticated weapons. They triumphed simply because they were able to withstand the ravages of death, transforming their pain into rage to reclaim their throne from the clutches of the undead. But victory always comes at a price. After exhausting their strength to recover and fight, these tenacious creatures are weaker than ever on their way back to their nest. After an exhausting battle, the honey badger only wanted to return to its den to rest and recover. Its body was weary, and the wounds from the previous battle still festered, making each step heavier than usual. However, while it was struggling to find its way back to its den, apex predators had sensed the presence of a slow and weak prey. A group of lions quickly closed in, using their numerical advantage to surround all escape routes for the honey badger. By the time the honey badger realized it was caught in the middle of a pack of big cats, it was too late for a smooth retreat. Its intention to run quickly back to its den vanished when it saw the large figures approaching. closing the distance to just a few meters. Its survival instinct told it that turning its back and running away would only hasten its death at the hands of the lions. Despite its exhaustion and numerous injuries, the honey badger was forced to muster its last ounce of strength for a furious counterattack. A young lion lunged forward, delivering a powerful pounce that sent the honey badger tumbling. But it immediately sprang to its feet and charged straight into the lion's massive paws. Fearless, the honey badger opened its mouth and bit down hard on the nose and sensitive lips of the swooping lion, causing the apex to roar in pain and surprise. In the chaos, the honey badger bit and clawed relentlessly, enduring the blows that left it battered and bruised, its fur soaked with blood. Its reckless ferocity momentarily stunned the lions, who were taken aback by the immense resistance from such a small creature. Seizing the momentary lapse in concentration while its opponent was distracted by the pain in its nose, the honey badger swiftly slipped through the gap between the lion's legs and plunged straight into the deep rock cave nearby. The smaller creature doesn't always have the strength to win a physical duel. But when cornered, its recklessness and precise counterbites can make the stronger one falter, opening a narrow escape from death for those who never surrender. At the height of the dry season, Africa is no longer a lush green savannah, but has transformed into a giant furnace, where death is present in every hot gust that blows through the blackened grass. The majestic rivers are now just memories in the cracked mud, forcing all predators into a fateful encounter at the remaining murky waterhole. The hyena pack had already occupied this area, turning the mud hole into a fortress protected by jaws capable of crushing bones and a ruthless pack spirit. With a highly disciplined matriarchal structure, they have a clear hierarchy. The alpha females always hold the most advantageous position to control all this precious liquid energy. Their superior heat tolerance and practical survival skills allow the hyenas to stand firm, while other rivals are gradually disintegrating under the pressure of the harsh climate. At this very moment, the lions, having endured a long and exhausting period, their muscles aching from lack of water, were trudging toward this black mud oasis. The thirst had stripped them of their former majesty, forcing them into a paradoxical situation where they had to humble themselves before those they could have easily driven away with a roar. The lions understood that in this place where the water was receding, power lay not in their majestic manes, but in the number of fangs lined up waiting in the shadows of the thorny bushes. The alpha lion tried to muster his last remaining strength, letting out a hoarse roar to make his way toward the water's edge, hoping that the authority of the former king still held some effect. But the hyenas did not retreat. They fanned out in an arc, their piercing laughter tearing through the silence, and began to close the circle around the big cats. The lion hesitated, its eyes wavering at the dozens of gleaming golden eyes waiting to pounce on any weakness in its legs, trembling from dehydration. It was forced to hastily drink mouthfuls of bitter mud, ready for a fight to the death, then quickly retreat to avoid a massacre in which victory was certainly not its own. The hyenas pursued, barking loudly as a stern declaration that on this cracked land, only those who control the water hold the throne. The strongest may not hold the throne the longest when nature ruthlessly changes the rules of the game. In a world warming and resources dwindling, flexibility and the ability to coordinate within the pack are the true powers for survival through the harshest times. As darkness began to engulf the savannah, the struggles gradually faded into silence. After a long day, the venom wears off. The bites heal, and the thirst is temporarily quenched. We see that in this land, no weapon is absolute, and no throne is forged from eternal steel. Nature does not judge the victor or the vanquished. It silently observes those who bow before the changing times. power is merely a moment borrowed from the earth. And the only thing that endures longer than strength is humility and adaptation. When the lights of today go out, every creature understands that to see the sun tomorrow, they must be willing to give up what was yesterday. If you find a part of your own perspective in these wild stories, please like and subscribe to our channel to continue our journey. The world out there still sees many silent shifts in power, where life always finds a way amidst the impossible.
In the scorching heat of Namibia, venom is not just a weapon. It is the boundary between life and death. When the small one challenges death with intelligence, and each attack can be the final blow. Every encounter is a life or death bet. Who is the most feared? The battle is about to begin. Harsh Namibia, the war with venom. Namibia, a fiery world in the heart of Africa, where the red sand dunes of the Namib Desert stretch like waves, painting a landscape that is both beautiful and cruel. This is a land where the wind sings on the rocks, the sun melts every grain of dust, and life is always tested to its ultimate limit. In the seemingly endless aridity, nature still rises strongly. With resilient creatures, life and death chases, and silent predators waiting for their chance in the dark. But among the scorching sand and the low bushes scattered on the dry stone floor, there is another force moving silently. Just a slight curve through the dry grass is enough to make the heart of the whole land wary. Cobra, the silent ghost of the Namibian desert. Its body can exceed 2 meters long, covered with smooth scales of brown, black or grey depending on the region. Softly undulating but carrying a hidden murderous aura. Its most prominent feature is its neck, that can expand into the shape of a car hood formed from special ribs. Like a shield to intimidate the enemy. Its round eyes with vertical pupils always observe coldly, reflecting a chilling calm. The cobra does not hunt in a hurry. It waits, strikes precisely with extremely fast pecks, injecting neurotoxins that can paralyze the victim in just a few minutes. Its food is very diverse, from mice, lizards, young birds to even smaller snakes. Some species can even eat eggs and are not afraid to attack larger creatures if provoked. The cobra's behavior is nocturnal or early morning, but on cool days it can also appear during the day. When threatened, it raises its head, spreads its neck, hisses in a threatening manner, and is ready to attack if the opponent does not retreat. In a harsh ecosystem like Namibia, cobras are not just hunters, but also respected forces, where every move can determine life. Under the dry Namibian sun, where the wind carries sand dust across the cracked land, it is not just four-legged predators that face off. In a hidden corner of the low bushes, two black shadows appeared. They were two male cobras, both adults, with the instinct to dominate. They did not move quickly, but slowly slithered, their heads raised high, their bodies lifted off the ground. Both opened their gill covers wide, their bodies bulging as if to show off their size. There was no hissing. This was not a hunt, but a confrontation ritual. They raised their front halves, staring at each other like ancient warriors probing for gaps. Their bodies undulated in symmetrical circles, each movement a warning. Sand and dust silently rose under their light swats. And then, both sprang up, squeezing each other. The fight could last for several minutes. Until one side gave in, quietly retreating from the territory. The winner raised his head high, his gill covers still wide open, sweeping the air as a declaration of sovereignty. For it, the battle is not about destruction, but about order. The cobra is not only a symbol of power and quiet death, but also a species with a unique reproductive cycle. Controlled by environmental changes and chemical cues, as the dry season gradually gives way to the first rains in Namibia, the pheromones of female snakes spread through the air, attracting males from hundreds of meters away. The mating process lasts for hours and many times. After mating, the female snake finds a safe place to lay eggs. Depending on the size of her body and living conditions, the cobra can lay from 10 to 40 eggs at a time. Unlike most other snakes, the female snake will protect the nest during the incubation period of 6 to 10 weeks. When the eggs hatch, the baby snakes are already venomous. They do not need the mother's guidance, immediately separating from the herd and starting their own journey of survival. In the same arid land of Namibia, where the sun is scorching the ground and shade is a luxury, the creatures that seem to be the weakest are creating a resilient defense system against the most fearsome predators. Meerkat, a small animal of the Mongoose family. With a height of only about 25 to 35 centimeters, a slender body, grey-brown fur covered with black stripes along the back and black eyes with dark outlines like pencil. Despite their fragile appearance, they possess a spirit of vigilance and solidarity that stands out in the wild. They live in large herds, usually from 20 to more than 30 individuals, living together in complex underground burrow systems dug in the heart of the arid desert. Every morning, the herd will leave the burrow, forming small groups to search for insects, reptiles, bird eggs, and sometimes scorpions. Which are dangerous enemies to most species, but are a favorite meal of meerkats. They have an amazing immunity to many types of venom. The most special thing about meerkats is their ability to guard and assign roles in the herd. While some forage, there will always be at least one individual standing upright, using its hind legs as a support, raising its head to observe the surroundings. If it detects danger, it will emit a characteristic alarm sound, and immediately the whole herd retreats to a safe place. Beneath their cute appearance and small body, meerkats are the embodiment of a close-knit, intelligent and brave society. The breeding season of meerkats usually coincides with the warmer and wetter months of the year, when food is plentiful and living conditions are favorable. In each group, only one dominant pair, usually the oldest and strongest male and female, is allowed to breed. The remaining individuals, even siblings, will take on the role of protector, hunter and caretaker of the young. After mating, the female is pregnant for about 11 weeks before giving birth to between 2 and 5 young. The young are born blind and hairless, completely dependent on their mother and the rest of the group for protection. During the first few days, they stay in the nest, while the other members take turns guarding and foraging for food. When the young begin to toddle out of the burrow, the life of training begins. They were taking part in hunts, observing and learning how to safely kill venomous prey. The sun's shadows were long on the dry ground. A group of small meerkats were groping along the tree roots, digging for prey. The young meerkats followed, occasionally looking up at the adults and then mimicking the digging. On the other side, a cobra was silently slithering forward, its body winding through the dry, sunburned grass, its eyes fixed on the small shadows moving near it. But the meerkats had detected the presence of the intruder. In a matter of seconds, the atmosphere changed. The leader stood up straight on his hind legs, his eyes locked on the approaching shadow. Immediately, the other three adults moved forward, forming an arc blocking the snake's path. Small growls came out, not loud but full of determination. The snake raised its head. Its neck puffed out, its prominent hood spreading out like a threatening signal. Mouth slightly open, tongue continuously darting in and out. It was also ready. Two worlds, two opposing survival strategies, now faced each other. The leader of the meerkats took the initiative to approach. Suddenly, the snake sprang up. The ambush was suffocating. Only a few minutes. With no clear winner, the cobra took the initiative to retreat, slithering into the grass. No one died. No blood was shed. But once again, the small world had defended itself against one of Namibia's most dangerous predators. Toughness is not in size, but in the spirit of not retreating. In the distance, another shadow moves silently. Not a meerkat, but a larger, bolder relative. The striped mongoose. A fearless wild warrior, is one of the boldest small mammals in South Africa. They have a stocky body, about 30 to 45 centimeters long, a tail almost as long as their body. Their fur is short and thick, greyish-brown with black stripes running across their backs, creating an appearance that is both effective camouflage in the bushes and makes them stand out as small warriors in the dry savannah. Small, agile eyes always sparkle with alertness. A pointed muzzle, small round ears set low on the head, contributing to the ability to dig and observe constantly. Sharp curved claws, specialized for digging burrows or digging for prey in sandy soil. They live in large herds of 10 to 40 individuals, with a strict social organization, closely coordinating when foraging and defending. The striped mongoose is famous for its courage and ability to confront enemies that are superior in size, including venomous snakes. They use tactics of encirclement, distraction, and simultaneous attack to neutralize opponents. This species has a special reproductive habit, strongly communal. In a large herd, many females can mate and give birth at the same time, usually at the beginning of the rainy season when food sources are abundant. After about 60 to 70 days of gestation, each female gives birth to 2 to 6 young. Surprisingly, the young are cared for collectively. The older members of the herd will take turns watching, feeding, and teaching the young how to survive, like a wild school. The diet of the striped mongoose is very diverse, from insects, spiders, small reptiles, to eggs and even venomous snakes. They have a certain immunity to venom. They were digging in the sand. They sensed a strange noise. The pack stopped. It had also sensed the presence of the following eyes. Its head was raised. Its neck began to swell. Its familiar cap slowly opened like a threatening curtain. But in front of such a large pack of enemies, it could not retreat. There was only one option left: to fight. A few of them closed in from behind. With skillful tactics, they distracted, harassed, and pressed on. The atmosphere was tense. Suddenly, both sides charged. The hunt ended quickly, but not easily. The banded mongoose pack had proven once again in the wild. It is not only venom that is scary, it is also the cohesion and intelligence of the little ones. As the last noise died down and the footprints faded into the hot sand from afar, another creature was quietly entering the scene. The leopard, a perfectly hidden predator, and the embodiment of death on the edge of the Namibian desert. Its body is about 1.5 meters long, about 70 centimeters high at the shoulder, covered with smooth golden fur, scattered with black spots like apricot blossoms. It helps to camouflage perfectly in the sunlight of the sparse forest, and also makes it different from other leopards. Its amber eyes always exude a sharp and cautious look. Its body is compact but muscular, flexible, can rush at lightning speed, and is the best tree climber among big cats. They live alone, preferring to be active at night or at dawn. It is the ideal time to ambush prey in the dark or low light. Unlike lions or hyenas that are noisy and herded, leopards choose solitude and secrecy as their weapons. During the breeding season, females will signal when they are in heat. They mate for a short period of time, but fiercely. After about 90 to 100 days of pregnancy, females give birth to 1 to 3 cubs in a secluded and inaccessible place. The cubs are blind at birth and need several months to be old enough to leave the den. The mother leopard takes care of them alone, teaching them to hunt and climb trees until the cubs are strong enough to live independently. The leopard's diet is extremely diverse, from antelopes, rabbits, to rodents, birds and reptiles. In Namibia, where food is scarce and the ground is hot, they can attack even agile and intelligent species. And the striped mongoose would also become one of their menus. But on that hot afternoon, when the smell of dry sunlight and dust mixed in the air, its sharp eyes discovered something unusual. A group of striped mongooses were gathering under the shade of a tree near the rocky beach, busy digging in the ground for insects. None of them realized that they had been targeted. The leopard lowered its body, each step as soft as smoke gliding through the dry grass. The wind was favorable. It held its breath, keeping every muscle from making a sound. just a small mistake. The whole group would disappear into the maze of underground caves immediately. The closer it got, the brighter its golden eyes became, locking onto a small striped mongoose. The opportunity had come. The hunt ended quickly. The striped mongoose group could only retreat helplessly. Even though the hunters can resist the venom against the larger predators, they can only become prey without being able to fight back. In the arid land of Namibia, where darkness and light always change roles, life continues according to the harshest laws. Every species is a hunter and can also become prey. From the venomous snakes silently lurking in the hot sand, to the mongoose groups united against danger, or the silent ambush of leopards. All combine into a symphony of survival, where every beat is a choice between loss and continuing. Namibia is not just desert and sandstorm. It is a natural arena where life is carved by uncompromising confrontations, where small courage is enough to make death falter. If you love the breathtaking battles, subscribe to the channel and turn on the bell so you don't miss any of the wild moments that await.